All right, what's up? What's up? Good morning and welcome back. Remember, of course, if you're tuning in on YouTube, that day trading is risky. For those in the chat room, we already know this very quite well, but remember that this is risky business. Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Most traders are struggling, especially if they're new traders. So it's important that in the beginning you go small, you go slow, you utilize small size and or paper trading accounts, aka simulator accounts. Other than that, remember, copy trading does not work here on the channel. My results are not typical. And remember, I do not invest money for my subscribers. So be careful of fake Relentless trader accounts. I will never message you first. In addition, also be careful of uh, accounts and people who are stealing the Relentless trading and or team house content. Sometimes they go as far to even try and run ads with these videos. So be very careful. It is a treacherous world at times, as beautiful as things can be. Also, at the same time, you have some strange people here. So just keep an eye out there. And besides that, I'm going to take a look at the watch list because I haven't looked at the gap scan here yet. I do know NXL is moving up and looking decent. So I'm going to, let's see, watching here. If we go from top to bottom, I think some of these stocks are not as good. Yeah, the very first one, NCL, there's no volume. XBIO, I can take a look at this one. Massive move earlier at 4 a.m. And since then has been somewhat backside. So XBIO might be a no-go for now, but of course we can keep it on the watch list just in case, there's a red to green and maybe there's something. Right now it's currently bear flagging and going down. Yeah, so okay, XBIO looks okay. ATON. Hopefully we can see a red to green there. ATON up 148% with about 18 million shares of volume. This one started in after hours. So for those of you who stick around after 4 p.m., this might have been a nice one. We had a double top here pre-market at 1898, and since then it's been pulling back. I think this one looks a little bit better than XBIO in terms of staying power and potential to maybe give that red to green. So ATON, I think I'll have on one of my screens here. ATON. We'll be keeping an eye on this just in case it's able to get over VWAP again and then retest that high of 19 area. Daily chart. Definitely a couple topping wicks. Triple top around 1304, which is good to see that we're above that level. And as well as 1580s. What's this, 13? Yeah, let's just say 13 plus or minus. Plus or minus, maybe a cent or two. I'll put 1310. We're above that level, which is good. And then 1580 and over 1580, there's 60. There's a lot of levels in this one. So going back up could be a little tricky if it's a day where we're seeing a lot of selling pressure and short sellers are just like hammering everything back down. So we really need to get closer to this high point that we had here from earlier at 19. We look a little bit better to fill some gap going back up. So over 19, of course 24, which is the high point. What's that? September 17th of last year. So I don't think it's a coincidence that it pulled back up there at like 24. This one could be backside as well, but we'll see. Maybe it does have a little bit of life left in it, and you know, perhaps that could give it a chance, but could also be finito. I'm gonna start up my screen recording. All right, looks good. And then moving down, NXL, which is one of the ones that's looking a little bit better right now. Probably be watching this into the open. You know, up 98%, 47 million shares of volume. Highs were at 210 just now. Low of the current pullback at 69. VWAP at 162. Daily chart. Guys, if you're tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So 231 stands out going back to April 14th of this year. We had a bit of a topping wick, although lighter volume on that day. We are above the 200 EMA, which is good, which is down at 140. So no issues there. If this is down at 140, I'm probably not going to be trading it. So I'd hope we can break over 2. And then, of course, you know, maybe 225, 250, 275. Hopefully $3 would be nice. But yeah, I think the only obvious topping wick really here is at 231. So this one looks decent, you know, we'll see. Looks decent. So with about 3 minutes to go here, there's a couple of things that I want to remind myself of. Let me write this ATON. I think that's all of them really. ACXP, how's that one looking? I'm gonna set my share size, and I want to remind myself today to take it slow into the open, being that nothing looks super obvious right away. No need to, you know, go guns a-blazing and wipe myself out potentially with a couple of bad trades to start the day. Instead, I want to be patient and only look to be on the offensive when something is really holding up and giving us what it is that we like for our strategy. Volatile, quick moves, limited downside risk, high upside potential, right? Meaning we're not seeing those massive knives down. And guys, by the way, I watched Ross's recap yesterday, right? This is the first time I'm watching one of his recaps in like a year and a half, and I'm like, man, like I had to like start watching more because the information there's all like, you know, no matter how long you've been trading, you can still gain some information, you know, and so the perspective is also there, right? So, you know, starting today, I'm gonna start watching more recaps on YouTube, and as usual, I should be doing my own recap too, right? That's a bit of a sidetrack there, but yeah. So coming into the open, you know, let's be careful, let's be disciplined, let's look for what we know and love, and if we don't see it, we don't need to trade. You know, it's that simple. And if we do see what we like, and you know, we're also seeing some good aggression, right? We can, of course, expose ourselves to a little bit more risk by being, you know, a little bit more on the offensive with size. That way, we can really capture the move and lock in a sweet day. So NXL for me into the open. I'll have ATON on the side chart, and then I'll be keeping an eye on the scans and the chat room. With that being said, let's trade to the best of our abilities, and let's be disciplined. For those of you on YouTube, you can hit the thumbs up as we're getting ready to rock and roll here. So we've been in this range for the low of about 170, highs of 93. Could we potentially see the 1 minute candle make the new high right away into the open? Potential of an opening surge trade. $95 and back down, not quite breaking over the seller right there. Being that that trade did not work all the way through to the whole dollar, I'm just going to wait. I like that we held up 69 right there. That was pretty good. That was good to see. Could have easily sold off, but we held up that previous support. I'm going to take the couple of cents here in the range for now. Just going to look to take a couple of cents, tight stops. 69 our low right now. We'll see if it gives the baby pullback a couple of times maybe. Can I get a little lower? Tight stops. There's a bid. And the bid is sold through. Word shot 100,000 shares there, sold through pretty easily. There's more than likely shares to short, even on Thinkorswim. This one seems pretty liquid. Is it worth the breakout attempt? I think so. Although I'll use a little smaller size. Okay, it's struggling. So we're going to give back on the breakout. The dips were decent though. We had 95 right there, back to 86. Might need more time to get out of the range. Again, struggling right there. What's it going to be? We're seeing 95 a couple times. Right back down 88. 85. It looks like it might be coming down. Can we hold 69 again? I'm gonna do a rotation on some of the others. XBIO. Well, XBIO is halted up here, but below VWAP though. Because this one is below VWAP, you know, I'm not like not loving it. Sidelines till the resumption. We got 2 minutes 50 seconds to resumption. VURU. Taking a look at BURU here. Pretty volatile, which is good. Looking for an entry. There's 84 cents. A little cheaper below dollar. Looking good though. 85. Trying to get something out of the front side before it decides to pull back. We've had a pretty good green candle already on the 5. 30 seconds to resumption. Looks like we might be seeing that pullback here. Not trying to catch the falling knife. So watching the resumption here. That was close. We didn't really dip. Tried for the breakout, just in a little high. Will we hold up this pullback? Trying for the breakout here. It's not instant. What I don't love is that this one is below the VWAP. I would hope we can flag here and then potentially BURU curling up a little bit. Keeping an eye on BURU here. XBIO didn't really get a chance to get in on the lows. It held up right there, which was good. That was pretty good. I don't like the volume on XBIO. Like it should be moving way more. So BURU, definitely watching this one a little more. I had to pull it up on screen. We got 81 for the high to current consolidation. you maybe retesting the lows. $74 is our low. My goal will be to hold this position to 80. Can't stand it when these charts just don't come back. I have my stop, just kind of watching to see what it does. It's held up again really nicely. It should rip right through this time. Okay, nice, nice. Does it have what it takes for 80 though? For 85 rather. Holding just a small position. Watching to potentially add back somewhere. Oh, is it failing? Man, right back down to 70, 76. In hindsight, should have been all out, but we're getting a topping wick now on the 5. What I like is that it's still held up right there. That's a good sign at least. So we still have some fight left in us. That's what the stock is telling me here. So I could watch the breakout if it doesn't come back. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that too often. That's twice. It didn't go. If it can break and hold, that could be good too. Trying not to be too scalpy because, you know, the breakout will only go once. Bro, why? There's just so much noise on the tape here. Are we gonna fly through 80 here? Oh, shoots, my position was freaking small. Damn. Okay, I mean, that's fine, whatever. It's like I'm thinking I have 20,000 plus and I can sell some, and it's like that's all I have. Now I'm all out with only a small position. I'm gonna look to get back in again. It's still holding up, which I like. All right, I'm all out. I'm gonna watch. Can we continue to hold up the support here? 75 has been our lows. Anything below that level is just, you know. So we're looking for the ABCD on the 1 minute and then the 5 minute candle to make the new high on the 5, but not have a topping wick. Watching and waiting. Too soon, too soon. That was not a good one there. There's definitely risk if it Titanics, you know. Stomaching the hold is what's tough. Son of a gun. Okay. Kind of try to chase it there. It's still holding support, which is good. It just didn't slingshot back up like it did the last time. As long as we don't break below 75 here, it's still holding up. I should need to be more patient there. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Well, we need to see over 80 though. 80 and then eventually 85. The two big levels. We've been getting the lower highs, which, is not ideal here in the last 5 minutes. Higher lows though in the bigger context, so still watching, still waiting. Would have loved to be in and holding here, but is this it? That's another false breakout. We got to be careful of it failing here. This day is like a slow day. Not seeing much. Maybe time to go on the sidelines again. BURU is still holding 75, which is good, but it's again our third rejection of the level. And XL right now, I think, is just complete nonsense. Selling off. BURU, our only hope. Our only hope. Well, well, well. 75 in the depths. I put my hands on the buy button for a breakdown and reclaim, but there's just way too much selling. ATON, BIAF. BIAF, I mean, it's kind of sideways, but it needs to break over highs. And then, even then, we got to clear these topping wicks up here. Short sellers are winning today. BURU, catastrophe. NXL, CCTG, lighter volume. XBIO in the bottom of the ocean. Looks like a day to shut it down early and keep it tight. Maybe something does come later, maybe. Story time? Maybe. Nothing is looking good. We've been able to make 140 bucks, which in itself is amazing in this type of condition. 140 bucks a day. What can we do with that? Maybe not much, but better than red for sure. So we will smile and be happy here, be merry. Consecutive green days will add up, giving us confidence. And right now we're in good position to wait for a hotter day. So keeping the perspective, keeping the context. $140. And also it was within 1 hour or less. So that's always pretty impressive when it comes to trading. If we can end on the green side of things. BIAF being mentioned. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, we'll see if it's able to do something. But again, a lot of topping wicks. TNMG, penny stock. Our 5-minute candlestick is red. Okay. Well, I didn't get to add. Right now, I'm just trying to see what this one is all about. If it's not talking about anything, I'm not going to bother. I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna leave, man. It's early, but this is this is not good. This is not it. This is a terrible, terrible market here. This is slow market conditions, despite the hot movements we had just 2 days ago. Unless we get a stock like XBIO to break over 1350 and go to 18 and then 20, you know, we're looking pretty grim here. BURU at 61 cents, man. Like, what's happening? All right, I'm gonna follow my instinct, and I know people on the YouTube stream are gonna want me to stay here for at least another hour. YYAI being mentioned. Hold up. Not the best daily chart, bit of a bottom bounce or dead cat bounce, whatever you call it. And that was some sell off yesterday. Maybe an offering. Got down to 15 cents. Brutal. But today, back up. And pushed up here the last minute pretty aggressively. 32 to 39 to then 42, 10 cents. I'm going to throw out an order at 36. Well, never mind. Okay. Just a couple hundred shares. Similar to the other one. Look at this. Coming right back dead. This is my cue. $18 loss there for nothing. Jeez. Well, okay. Now it's my time to leave. After the haircut. All right. If you're going to go all the way, continue to be disciplined. Continue to be patient. I'm out like South. Not sticking around for this nonsense. I think it's likely to be red with this, like how slow it is. So, sticking to my gut. And gonna pull out early here. Strategic retreat. If you guys want, you can ask Mighty to take over the stream. He can if he is gonna stream later into the day. But I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay green. Hit the thumbs up. Check out the links down below. And I'll watch on here from the sidelines. If something hits the scans, maybe I can come back. I'll update in the chat if I do. If not, that's the day. All right, guys. Stay safe, stay green.